I get in here and you get me working.
Get you fired up, dude.
Podcasters.
A groggy podcaster. A sleepy, food drunk.
I was going to say something.
You say what you
I'm
want,
gonna
man.
fidget.
Say what you feel.
I'm going to fidget.
Just fidget. We'll get through it together.
I think we can do this.
Ready to roll?
I am. Still. I look good.
I like your vest.
Thanks, dude.
Wagner Fail, man.
Wagner Fail.
I like their overalls.
Do you have one?
I got a pair. So I got a pair I love. They're 1620 workwear. They're like
I've heard of
fucking sturdy.
Yeah.
But I like they got the different colors, so I want to get a pair.
These are, and they're slim fit. Most overalls that I've ever had are like flare pants. Not a big flare pant guy.
Yeah,
Small legs.
The 1620s are just, they fit good. They're not slim fit, but they're also not too much.
I have the gray pair of the Wagner Fair ones, and they are top notch.
Yeah.
Top notch.
Hell yeah.
Big man now these days.
Big man
You
guy.
were a part of that journey. We can get into that.
Dude, thanks. Well, yeah.
You were a part of that.
We'll
screwed
bridge
me
into
up.
it.
You
Yeah.
screwed me up.
Yeah, do what I can. Ready? What is up, everybody? This is Joe Adams, and welcome to the Relentless Pursuit Podcast. What we do on this podcast is bring in guests from all different backgrounds, all different walks of life, to share their journey and everything along the way that led them to where they're at today. We're here to make an impact, and that is what we do. So if that is for you, like, subscribe, all those beautiful things. And if that is not for you, I don't know what your problem is, but you need to jump on board today. Thank you. But today, we're going to switch gears up a little bit, okay? We're going to switch gears up. Tyler gets me all amped up. We're going to switch gears up because this one is about the journey now, okay? And this is a guest that's been on here a few times. Actually, my first podcast guest, maybe my first or second, in the garage.
Oh, good God, yeah.
And then we've done a couple since then. And we're going to just catch up and talk about life and the journey that's happened as of late. You know, you can go get his story. I don't know. I'll put the episodes in the captions, but he's told his story, so we don't need to recover that. But yeah, let's give it up for my friend, Tylor Gentry.
I'm going to be honest. I'm honored to even be on the Hall of Fame.
Did you get back?
I don't deserve this.
Another photo is going up today. We're taking a selfie photo.
I'm happy to be here.
Dude,
It's an honor.
I'm glad to have you here, bro.
It's an honor, man.
It's Tylor and I go back, man.
It's been a while. It's been a journey.
I saw Tylor back when I was in the gorilla days. And then
Yeah, that again, it's a journey. The hair's
like
grown a bit.
6 years ago.
No, it's
6 years ago.
Yeah, maybe.
Shoot,
Long time.
freaking A.
Long
And
time.
so Tylor and I, but we circled around at some point along the way. I don't really remember how. And we become friends. And we're both, and dude.
It's an honor.
Yeah, it's
Really.
an honor. It's an honor to know you.
It really is.
And Tylor and I have always gotten along well, and we just have great conversation, man. I love talking to you.
Yeah, we say it every time, but we have deep conversations right before we turn the mic on, and then we say, "Dang, we should turn the mic on," and then we do.
And I said we should turn the mic on for the past 30 minutes, probably 3 times. And never did.
Shit. So hopefully we're not empty.
Okay, bye. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, that's all I got, really. No.
Well, Tylor, man, but since last time, there's been some changes with business,
dude, it's
in the realm of family.
Yeah, so I think the last time was actually, I feel like we always go around Christmas time, if I'm not mistaken.
Dude, you just put me in the holiday spirit, man.
It's Christmas joy, really. But I mean, I have a beautiful 1-year-old daughter now. I'm actually not allowed to say 1-year-old because she's 15 months. So big discrepancy. In the
I've been
Gentry
saying
household.
18 months for 5
My
months.
question is when does that stop? She's 48 months. She's just 4.
I think with my daughter, it's she's about to be 2 in April. So I'll say
then she's
2, 2.5, 3, and then we'll just stay there. Yeah.
That, I think that's the consensus.
But for it, yeah.
It's once it hits multiple years, you can then stop the months.
I think that's kind of where I'm at. It's just I'm at 1.5 years, pretty much. And it's been more than that, but I'm just going to stick with that until she's 2.
Yeah. Well, who knows?
Because people can round up.
I said that the other day. I was like, she's a little over 1. And then we got in the car and she was like, she's 15 months. And I was like, cool.
In exactly 1 week,
Yeah.
and 1 day, and
Yeah.
3 hours.
Yeah. So I have a 15-month-old. I have a 10-year-old, both girls. Business has changed a lot. I used to co-own with my good buddy Ryan, Ambition Threads, motivating lifestyle clothing brand. That's where we acquainted the most at.
Yeah.
Was at that for a while. We actually had it up for sale, had 2 people pretty interested. One fell through, jumped to the other one, had a lot of stuff done on that end, and then actually it ended up falling through. So we just reached a season of life where we just weren't really, capable of taking it to the next level.
Yeah.
To be honest, that's tough to say because that thing was my baby. But started in between that, started a exterior painting business. I've been in the painting industry for a while, was wrestling with the Lord about it because I don't like painting. And now I love painting, and we've had a 3-year going on 4-year business.
You're good at it. Hey, guys, for those of you that don't know, this painting here, this fresh paint back here, it was done by him.
Yeah, it's holding up nice.
It looks really good.
We did good. We did good.
I'm happy with it, sure.
It's definitely a different stage of life for sure, but it's business, and I've said it a million times, but I just love it. I love it.
Yeah, well, that's a huge shift, going from, a brand like Ambition to what you're doing. So I guess I'd like to hear like what that's like too.
I'll tell you that
you're fully committed to that now.
Oh, it's everything. Yeah. I'm. We were talking off mic, but I'm turning into a numbers guy, and it's. I don't want to say it's completely different because it's building a business. I mean, there's a lot of the same kind of pillars in business that you do and focus on. But yeah, it's a little bit different from going from a product to a service and little nuances like that. But no, for the most part, it's everything I love. I get to build a brand, and we're actually starting 2025, 2026 of kind of getting back into marketing. So like I took off social media for, I want to say a good year of just no posting, trying to figure all this stuff out because I would argue, I said this off mic, but I'll say it on mic. I've been an entrepreneur for 9 years, and I would argue that this is my first real year of like being an entrepreneur as far as all of that goes, because you just learn all the fun stuff, all the grit, all the work hard, this, that, the other. Like, yes, it's always kind of stood true, but what I focus on now is far different than what I was focused on.
Yeah, of course, man, of course. It's funny you say grit. You mentioned that. You said that a couple of times since you got here. So when I had my public speaking event, that's my acronym.
Okay. What is GRIT?
So grit, gratitude,
always,
resilience,
perfect,
intention, and then transformation.
I think we're done here.
Yeah. So gratitude for
gratitude
for everything within the journey, even the most. But one thing I stressed was like even the most difficult spots, because when you can find gratitude in the darkest moments. Yeah. That's when you truly understand gratitude.
100%.
Resilience, strength through adversity, because adversity builds you. Intention, purposeful actions, and then transformation, the changes within the journey and embracing that. And so that's like, that was my acronym because it fit kind of my aesthetic.
You look gritty.
Yeah. And so I was like, grit.
Yeah. And it's like, actually,
someone jumped in the crowd. They're like, oh God.
Oh my God.
I was like, grit, baby. Yeah. And not like,
picked up his books, left, and you're like, hey, wait, hold on. It's
not girls raised in the South.
Yeah. Hey, although we are doing that too. So technically it works. That's funny. No, I love that. I love that a lot, actually. There's a lot of truth in that. Gratitude's probably been the main thing.
Yeah.
You go through a lot, just in life, especially after having kids. You look at a bigger picture all the time, a lot more than I used to. And I'm a pretty decent big picture kind of guy. Yeah. But the gratitude thing is like, man, I don't deserve this, and it is a gift, and I am just overwhelmed.
When you have the kids, because you're thinking of them and their future, and people like, obviously it's important to stay present
always
and like in the moment. And people say it as if like that's all you need to do, but it's like when you have a family, it's almost damn near impossible because you're maybe for you, but you're also thinking about their future at all times. So it's like you got to bridge those two things together.
Being present's tough, because you're always, you're trying to stay a couple steps ahead, and then at the same time, you're like, even though I'm trying to be ahead, let's watch you open Christmas presents. It's still like impossible.
Yeah,
it's so
exactly.
Yeah,
no, you get it. It's even like, I mean, I didn't work yesterday.
Yeah,
but
no.
there was,
God, no.
We're driving, or there's multiple times. Like I was definitely present, but at the same time, it still doesn't turn off ever.
You catch yourself. You catch yourself trying to flick the switch of like somebody says something, you're like, ooh, yeah, that's a good idea.
Midday.
Wait, I can't think of that right now.
Midday, I had a break, and I was like, well, I got to post on TikTok. I got a clip. I'm just going to put a clip up, and like but I had, because I want to be consistent, because I see what that can become. But also, it's just like, there's always something, right? Yeah. It's like you don't clock out.
Yeah, it's I will tell you this, something different that I've learned, and I don't know if it's the service business that's teaching me this or the good Lord or who, but I did clock out yesterday.
Yeah,
yeah. I've always kind of known that I'm naturally a little lazy when it comes to like certain things. Like I'm a go-getter and I'm a grinder and I'm all that, but also too, I look forward to a good day off.
Yeah.
And yesterday was a good day, like off. Like I put my phone away. We did a bunch of family stuff, opening gifts, all that fun. And I woke up this morning like groggy and just, eat crap, had a couple beers and hung out.
You didn't eat your earplugs at least.
I did. I didn't. I will tell you, I started this new thing for sleeping. I breathe not good. Like I just don't. I broke my nose 2 times or 3 times. And like one side's always just, I never can breathe.
Yeah.
And I started nasal strips. I know I'm getting old.
I've got some of those. I haven't tried them yet.
Listen, I'm truly married now because I can go to bed with a nasal strip and still like, what's up, baby?
Yeah.
But I've started those, and I actually caught myself for the first time last night. I woke up kind of similar to you eating your earplugs. I'm
going to have to explain that now.
You will, because it sounds crazy. But I was rubbing my eye, and I woke up pulling off and I was like, don't do that. What are you doing? So maybe I was trying to eat it. I don't know. But yeah, please explain that because you sound crazy.
Well, yeah. The nasal strips, I want to try them out because I have some. Someone gave me. I haven't tried them out yet. I think I tried one, but I sleep pretty good. I breathe pretty well. So I don't know. It's just, I guess I maybe haven't needed it. But last night, I guess it's all this freaking holiday food. I've been stuffing my fucking face. And as soon as there's something sweet, and now Lydia's making everything from scratch, dude. She's been making dude, she got on this sourdough thing.
Listen.
So it's constant sourdough bread, homemade, and she's nailed it. Well, now she's making sourdough croissant stuff with ham and cheese. And dude, it's insane.
Dude,
and
your relentless pursuit to being overweight's coming soon.
Bro, I'm like, babe, not during the week, okay? I got to get my burpees in. But the holidays just crush me, and I stay pretty on top of things. But, when it's like a day like yesterday, I'm like, screw it. But dude, I stuff my face, and it's just like I feel so exhausted from it.
100%.
And I guess it's just like, dude, I just been in eating mode because last night I'm passed out and I'm having this dream that I'm at an Italian restaurant and I'm eating some tortellini. I ordered tortellini, and I freaking started chewing a tortellini, and I was just like, it doesn't have flavor, it's just, but it keeps chewing. It doesn't break down to eat,
It's and a I'm little stringy. You're like, I don't get it. Yeah.
And I'm chewing, and I wake up and I'm still chewing. There's something in my mouth, and I'm like, so I hit the little hatch thing, light comes on, I spit in my hand, and there's just this stuff. It was my freaking earplug. I had taken my earplugs out of my ears and ate them thought they were tortellini, dude.
Yeah. Thank God in your dream you were like, something's not right.
Yeah, and so I just picture myself if I could have a camera, and just
oh, man.
I'm just laying there oh, what? What made that happen? I don't know. I'm blaming the holidays.
Yeah, well, maybe tonight you put a little salt on it, shove them in your ear, and just be like, hey, just in case.
Oh, dude, I'm scared to sleep with them now. I don't want to choke on a freaking earplug. They're not really
What a way to go.
Yeah.
What a story. You build this amazing brand, got an amazing podcast, and he goes by eating his own earplug.
I'm going to make an Amazon review about that.
Yeah, I'd be like, hey, you can eat them, and they
don't taste like tortellini. It's just so you know.
Oh my God.
Yeah, dude.
That's the best thing I've ever heard.
But yeah, man, it's but that's cool, dude. So you got some good stuff going on.
It's not where I ever thought I would be. But again, it goes back to the gratitude thing.
Isn't that cool though?
I'm overwhelmed with gratitude every day.
I'm stoked to be where I'm at. Like,
I think you should be. I think you should be. We've talked a lot, but I think you're on, I feel like every time we catch up, we're always saying the same thing, but it just means that you're moving forward.
Yeah.
So it's a good place to see.
I think it's insane when you just like have realizations like, like you've had, like not where I thought I'd be. Right.
No,
like
no.
you like, I think 10 years ago, I'm like, good God, my life looks it's so much different than it, like I even pictured.
Dude, I never wanted kids, never wanted to get married. Like none of it. I'm pretty vocal about that for the most part. Like now I look at my life and I'm like, man, I love kids. I love I'm different around other kids. And usually I was just like, oh man.
Are y'all done? You're going to have more?
I don't know. We're giving that up to the Lord. I mean, we've talked about wanting more, maybe one, maybe two, I don't know, but I don't know.
We're trying for another.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That just makes me happy. Here's the thing that I think about that I've never thought about ever, but having another one, cause Ava was my stepdaughter. She's now, I mean, golly, dude, she's the best.
Ava's cool.
We had Letty and I was like, dang, this is crazy. I have 2 kids. This is left field,
Yeah.
And now I'm like, man, I love this kid so much that I don't know if I could bring another one here and love it that much. Dude, it's a weird thing to think
what's
about.
What's funny about that is I've been going through the same thing. Lydia's like been wanting kids for another one for a long time. And she's like, you just don't seem like it. And I'm like, babe, I'm just so content. Like I love Ozzy so freaking much. Like that's my baby girl, man.
It's weird.
Like I don't even know if like I don't even like I don't deserve that. Like
yeah.
That's why do
exactly,
I need more? I'm so grateful.
That's exactly what and then I think about, this is just weird stuff in my brain. But like if I had a boy, us men, when we clearly gravitate more towards having a boy than a girl. I think that's
personally me as like a girl.
No. I mean, now I'm like, I don't care what it is. As long as it's healthy, I'm great.
Yeah.
At first, you're always like, man, I'd love to have a boy.
I don't know. I wanted a girl.
Really?
Yeah.
Most men I know. It's just a boy thing.
Yeah.
And I was, I have 2 brothers. Like it's a boy house. It's always been. My best friends growing up, I was a house full of boys. Like I knew one girl growing up.
Yeah.
That was it. And I'm like, man, if we had a boy, like I would be so scared that Letty would think that I love this boy more.
Yeah.
I think about that with my older daughter, Ava. It's like, I don't want you thinking that I love her more. It's 2 different stages. Like I love you both. I would kill for you. Yeah. And die for you.
Yeah. There's no difference.
No difference. But I treat you a little different because you're 10 and she's 1.
Yeah. Like
it's a little different, but it's the overarching thing of like, no, I love you guys more than anything.
And it makes so much sense. I will never understand that kind of, you said, you do have Ava and that one. So
no, I think it's a tough thing to understand.
No, you really can't understand until you're in it.
Yeah. And then even when you're in it, sometimes I'm like, I don't get it, dude.
Oh man, I don't know why I started this. Did people ever try to tell you like how to parent?
Oh, it's just like growing a business. Hey, this is what you should do for your business. And you're like, oh, cool. How many businesses do you have? And you're like, none. And you're like, oh, cool.
I was getting on to Ozzy the other day or recently, and someone was like, don't do that. Now you don't upset her. And I'm like,
first of
all, twitching. I like Lydia saw me give it like a look. And I'm like, I'm just sorry. No one tells me what the fuck to do. I didn't ask for that. I'm going to do what
it's funny, God love Letty's grandparents.
It's always like, it's people like that. And it comes from a good place.
Comes from a great place, always. But it's funny, like some things that, she must be tired. And I'm like, first of all, I know when she's tired. Okay.
Thanks.
You don't. Yeah. No, it's little things that I'd probably take too personally.
Yeah. Well, so am I.
Yeah. Have you thought about me? But yeah, sometimes I catch myself like, hey, you just hang on a second. All right. First of all, that's mine, not yours. You don't know nothing. And then you look at, especially my dad, he's like, it's been the best thing to watch my dad because he was pretty gnarly on us growing up, especially me, just because I was a craphead.
With like your little girl though.
And he's like, dude, I'm going to buy her a car for Christmas. And I'm like, she's 1, dude. Okay. Like, chill. Yeah. And he's like, yeah, she's going to get everything, man. And I'm like, it's cool to watch, but
your son's still here.
It's great to watch, but sometimes I'm like, hey, love me, right?
Like, it's not. I know my dad like had like an ornament, and it was like Big Bird or something. It's like some ornament from my childhood. And my dad's like standing up there with Ozzy. Like I look over, and he's like, "Ooh, like it's Big Bird."
Yeah.
And I'm like,
shut up.
I'm just talking about it. And I'm like, they're bonding.
100%.
It's so funny, man.
It's the coolest thing to see. I never thought of that. That's another reason why I'm just overwhelmed. Like, I never imagined seeing my dad like that. And now that I get to, I'm like, this is probably the coolest thing in the world.
It's a beautiful thing, man.
It is, man. It changes your perspective on a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it does, man. It's constant perspective shifts too.
Yeah.
You know, especially if you're just paying attention to things, man. Like, I don't know, being a father is the coolest thing in the world. Like, I couldn't have thought of anything better. I think I got really, I don't know if I've done a video recently, but I wrote about it too.
I don't watch your videos.
Okay. It was about redefining success.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, I've always admired like the Andy Frisellas and stuff like that, right? But I always I fell into the trap of like, nothing's good enough. Success is out there.
Yeah.
And then it's like, you're never going to reach it, but you got to keep going towards it. That's how you become successful, right? And I'm like, that's what it is. And then I got my blood pressure went up. Like, I don't know. I told you few months back, I had to drive to the hospital.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they had to put me on blood pressure medicine because I was like, I was like having nosebleeds and like losing my vision and shit.
A little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. It was extremely high.
Yeah.
And, but I just was so in my head about like, I'm not there. I'm never going to be there. And then I stepped back and I had to re-gear that whole thought process. And I was like, dude, I'm fucking successful. I got a beautiful family.
Dude.
I got a perfect daughter, an amazing wife. I'm successful as fuck. That was always my biggest dream. I got a business. I get to go into work and do this and be authentic as fuck. Like, that's successful, dude. It's all about leveling those things up now, but I want to get to the level they're at, but speak from a different place. See, and that's just because I'm Joe. I'm going to deliver the message.
Dude, I look at it a lot differently. I used to want to be the man. Mm-hmm. I had a deep desire to I'm the one that created this. I'm the blah, 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 blah. I really do think that culture is too attached to money. Like, I
100%, yeah.
Like, money is success. And don't get me wrong. I'm not a millionaire sitting here. I aspire to be one. Yeah. Not for anything greedy or anything, just I think it'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
But I think you're probably more successful than any statistic out there.
I think
I would argue that having a relationship with your kids, first of all, like as men, we're fallen, don't get it.
Yeah.
Couldn't tell you why. Even in a relationship with your wife, like that's a rarity. Like I say this quite often, but like my wife and I don't really argue. Like we get in little like, hey, will you get it together?
Yeah. Yeah.
More so her on me than me on her. But like we have a great relationship and we work at having a great relationship. It doesn't get much better than that.
No, it really doesn't.
Is it going to be sunshine and rainbows? Probably not. Like there's probably going to be one time she's going to be like, listen.
Well, it's because you're both communicating.
Yeah.
And dude, that's the key. Like people say it and it sounds, but like even people that say it, do y'all really communicate the way you preach? Because like, dude, no, you communicate about everything. I talk to my wife about everything.
I say some pretty crazy stuff, but if I don't get it off my chest, I'm gonna implode. You can
exactly, dude. I've seen that it happens, man. I've seen what happens when I bottle things up, dude. It's fucking sucks.
Something even small. You know, so I think the level of success is very relative.
Oh yeah.
You know, I've looked at it in designing it in buckets now of like, am I successful with my time? Am I successful with my health? Am I successful with my family?
Mm-hmm.
Money, like the money thing grows really slow.
Yeah. Yeah. So they make like that tooth powder.
Yeah.
They use like grass-fed bone hydroxyapatite, like xylitol.
Good stuff.
Yeah, dude, you could eat it. Bro, it's changed my life. My teeth, like my gums don't recede anymore. Dude, I literally don't have cavities anymore. Like I had a cavity and I went to the dentist again and I've been using this stuff for like a year and a half. And they were like, I was like, dude, I got cavity. They're like, no, dude, I don't know if it got rid of my cavity. And I'm dipping like a motherfucker. I'm going like can a day at this stand.
Yeah, dude.
And I'm like, so
buy it, bro. Buy it all the time. Put it on here for free.
Dude, that's what, damn it, I should have brought some. All right, I'm going to do that. But check out Van Man, the best products. You could their deodorant, their hair serum, their mouthwash. I got some over there.
Just in case we need to freshen up.
Yeah, dude, but you could ingest all of it safely, and it's the best products I've ever used in my life.
Dude,
I'm a huge believer in what they do. So like,
if
I
you
want
don't
them a
post
part of this.
I'm gonna be pretty pissed
You know what I'm
off.
saying? Dude,
Pretty pissed off.
Dude, I will die for the van, man.
Bro, if
I just go extreme. They're like, yo, this guy, he's got those kind of tendencies.
Dude, if I were you, I would post all of those things that you live by. All of those.
Yeah.
Like the Van Man, Vivo. I'd post them for free. I'd give them free airtime.
Dude.
Free airtime. Why? What's the worst that's going to happen? You're still going to wear it.
Yeah.
You're still going to chew it.
Dude, I like
use it. Whatever.
That's two things I'd love to have a part of this is the Vivo and Van Man, because Vivo has been life changing for me, dude. That's all I wear.
I haven't been on the game yet, but
I got my training ones over there. Look at those. I blew the other ones out. Too many burpees. So I'm going to collaborate with Vivo. They don't know this, but I'm collaborating with them on a burpee-proof shoe. I've hit 65,000 so far, guys. So it's legit.
Get on
legit.
my level.
It's legit.
Get on my burpee level.
Oh, there's my ad read.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know of any other ad read needed.
No.
Other than what you live by. Like, that's it.
Hell yeah.
Fueled by Van Man Vivo X. Oh. Anyway.
Collab. Yeah. But anyways, dude.
I could talk business literally all day long.
Yeah.
It's
I'm excited.
It's fun.
This is good. You know, I was wary coming into this episode just because I was like, I feel like ass from all the food. But it's been good. I feel really chilled out, though.
Yeah.
Because it's like such a cool... You're not a new face. We're just catching up.
No. Well, you know, hopefully some new people see us, and hopefully I'm being a beacon of light. That's really kind of my own.
That's what matters.
That's kind of my main thing. If I'm not shining my light through all my crap, I'm doing a disservice. So coming in here and just shining a little bit of light. That's
Be a lighthouse, not a tugboat.
I love that.
Yeah?
I love that.
Dude, that's a good one. A friend of mine told me that a long time ago. Because the tugboat gets exhausted. But when you're the lighthouse.
When you are the light, you got,
they'll come.
And the tugboat will get there.
Yep. Tugboat will get there, but it's going to be
Yeah,
but it's just like.
I'm going to be honest. I'm tired of tugboat.
Tugboating, man. It reminds me of the team thing we were talking about.
Yeah.
We can get into that. We can shift in. We're still talking about parent. I kind of want to bring this up.
Go ahead.
So, I think because we were talking about success, and this all kind of falls together. Success and looking at it a certain way. And like I said, I've had some crazy realizations the last few weeks, and it's re-geared everything. And honestly, it's like I always tell, Lydia's heard it, going into the new year, it's like, this is the year.
New year, new you.
Yeah, and like, dude, I'm like, things are going to take off this year.
Yeah.
And then, here we are to 2025, and I'm like, fuck, man, still scraping by, dude.
Yeah, no, that's...
And it's like, sucks because you don't want to repeat the same thing, but you want to keep, especially your spouse, believing in you. And so it's fucked up because you say these things, you speak these things out, and you give them this expectation. And then it's like, damn it, man. And like, dude, you talked about the money. I don't need to be rich. I want to be able to afford for my wife to quit her job and be a full-time mother and cook and like take homeschool, because that's what she wants. She loves that.
Yeah.
She took like 4 weeks off, dude. I've never seen her so happy.
That's awesome.
And she crushes that.
That's awesome.
And that she knows like that's where she's meant to be.
Goal. Yeah.
So the goal is for her to do that. And to be honest, like this day and age, like to be able to provide for your family solo is
tough.
It's
tough.
That means you've done pretty well.
Yeah, dude.
And I just want some land for him. And I want those things. I don't need to be flying a private jet. But hey, the more I gain, the more positive, the more freedom, right? And that's how I look at money is it's freedom.
Absolutely.
And but I never look at it as like the goal. The goal is impact, baby. But
I got an interesting thought on
that. Well, yeah, we could talk into that, but what I wanted to get at is like, it's been this crazy journey because like I said going into this year though, like the thing is going into 2025, I've never had so much clarity. I've never been so like free of so much shit consuming my mind, because I talked about like the forgiveness aspect, forgiving all these people, but also forgiving myself. And then I thought about the team thing, and we talked about that a little bit. And like I've had people on here, and it's not to knock anybody, but I always hear you need a team. You can't go anywhere without a team. So I took that idea right when I started RP. And the first thing I did was start a team.
Yeah.
And did photo shoots And it was like, dude, this looks legit. People told me that. They're like, dude, your shit looks legit as fuck.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, hell yeah, it does.
Yeah, it does.
Well, guess what? Guess who was most deceived by the illusion? Myself. So, dude, I'm trying not to get emotional because I had that going on. And so I told Lydia last night, and it was a harsh thing to recognize. But say this is the bottom. I was started here. And I was working my way up. Life happened, things shifted. And dude, when I fell, straight on my back.
Yeah.
There was nothing there.
Yeah.
No one was like, it was just like, boom.
Yeah.
And I hit fucking hard. Don't get me wrong, I had things established. But I started from a place of like pure isolation, just laying on my back in the dirt, like, oh fuck.
I fell.
I'm here.
Yeah.
Now I gotta build from here. And it's been really hard, man, because I hadn't been able to. I spent the last few years holding grudges, man, having chips on my shoulder, like, man, fuck these people, dude. Like they all just bailed. But guess what? I brought them on and I didn't even know them. They don't owe me shit. I had expectations that for them, which were unrealistic.
Yeah.
What, you're supposed to see my vision because I say so?
Yeah.
That's not your job. No. That's my job.
No.
So instead of like building a foundation myself,
you put your foundation in the wrong place.
Yes. And so I had this illusion built that I deceived myself with, and I fell into this trap. And then I got into a place of like, well, I got to fucking scrape by every month and figure something out. Sometimes I've had to sell shit just to like fucking cover this one bill.
Yeah.
And so on and so forth. And that's the real shit. And like, I've sacrificed a lot. And guess what? It's been worth it, dude. Like, I will tell anybody. And like, I expressed it to my parents last night, and they're like, we don't see you. And I'm like, listen, guys, I said, or they've expressed that they've been worried about me. I said, listen, don't worry. And here's why. Because I love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I may have given y'all reason to worry, and that's on me. But I'm so in love with it, this process, man. And like, it doesn't matter. The building, say this building burned down tomorrow. Who I am today
is because of it.
From when I started, is a whole new person. So I'm going to start from the ashes, a fucking man, like with purpose and fire and everything.
Yeah.
And so that's been a tough lesson, but God, man, it's a crazy. I know I keep cutting you off.
No,
but
you're
holy
not
shit.
cutting me off at all. I was trying to cut you off. No, it's a tough, it's super cliche. It's a tough road. No one's naive to that. Even those who don't have their own business or, whatever it is, financial troubles, like it's a tough road, the whole life thing. I see where you're at with the whole team thing. I did the same thing with, growing ambition was we put a lot into a team.
Yeah. And I don't discredit that. The team thing's important.
And that's what it's so important because I always go back to my mom used to say all the time, it takes a village to raise a child.
Yeah.
It's not just you. It's not just the wife, not just the husband. It takes a village to raise a child. I view that a lot like in business.
Yeah.
There's pitfalls with everything.
Yeah.
There's pitfalls of you got a bad uncle or, you missed the boat here or whatever the case may be. There's always pitfalls, but I think the older I get, the more I realize there's a difference between a team and a family or whatever you could put, there's just two buckets.
Yeah.
There's, a bucket of the ride or die. Like I'm a big vision guy. So I'm always like, even with my wife, we do, yearly visions of like what we would want to do and what we would want to accomplish. And, I'm crazy. I think of some craziness, man. Like, I was 1 year into the painting business. I was doing the same thing I was doing with ambition. Like if this works, like I can do this. And then, just building. And I love it. That's the part that I love. Yeah. That's my passion. And the hard part about those two buckets is that you try and pour into them equally. And a lot of people aren't in it. A lot of people don't see it. A lot of people see it as impossible.
Well, sometimes you Sorry, I cut you off.
No, I sometimes you gotta. My hard part is like I want everyone a part of it. I love humanity. Like
Yeah.
I really think
We're the same there, dude.
I just think like, man, if I see it, like you should see it and come with me because like
come
it's
on.
gonna be awesome.
Yeah. We're going to change the fucking world.
And then I get hit in the mouth really hard and I'm like, oh boy, it was a little stressed here.
Yeah.
But don't lose your hope because
Yeah.
I got it, you know. And it's like the more that I've learned of like to not take it so personal. Like I take it when someone doesn't want to be a part of my journey. I'm like, what is it? Me?
Yeah.
And it's like,
Oh, dude.
no, dude, it's not. It's just two different people. Like that's the crazy part about humanity that I've learned so real lately of like, yeah, sometimes you just like, you've got all the bells and all the whistles and some people just don't even like bells and whistles.
Yeah.
You know?
I know. Thanks.
And I'm like, dang, man, that's crazy and totally cool. Like I've learned to have to kind of come to grips to that because I'm not going to change my passion and my love for life. And like, it's just a gift that we're even here to be able to do similar, just stuff like this.
Yeah.
And I really, truly have always kind of viewed life that way of like, man, this is such a gift. I'm going to squeeze this puppy dry. Some people don't view it like that.
Yeah.
And I took it personal for a long time. Like everything with ambition and like that's some of the best times of my life. Like it didn't end that way. You know, at least it didn't end the way that I had it on paper. But it was the best times of my life.
But how often do things go through in life like how they do on paper?
I heard something the other day that was like, hey, your goals shouldn't be little goals that lead you to the big goal. Your goals should be big goals and small milestones in between, like okay, if I want to do this, I need to probably do this first.
Yeah.
But in between that, don't try and write that journey. That journey in between that will be so vastly different than you could ever imagine.
Yeah.
And it's something that I was like, I couldn't agree with that any more than I just heard it.
Right.
You know, because it's like the things that I've gone through, just say 5 years. I couldn't orchestrate that if I literally tried.
Dude, it's
watched
insane.
4 movies and read 9 books on it.
Yeah.
Couldn't have done it, man.
Yeah.
But it's almost enlightening to know like it's okay to set goals. It's okay to be, you know, do all those things. But just the in-between part, hey,
yeah,
you're not going to write it. So don't worry about it.
Yeah. You also got to you got to learn how to embrace the mystery of it all. You got to learn how to embrace like the things that you don't expect. Like you set those goals, but you also got to understand that like, oh, if it diverts, like that's also a cool thing too.
100%.
Because guess what? It diverts no matter what direction it does. That's an opportunity for you to learn.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? And so you just gain something from that, and it just feeds into like the goal that's hit next. Right?
I hate cliche sayings. I always say that because they're cliche for a reason. But yeah, you should learn.
Yeah,
it's literally a game of learning.
Yeah,
who can learn the best?
Yeah,
and it's like, well, the hardest part about it is learning.
Yeah, exactly.
I can tell you that right now because I'm learning how to do math.
And people, yeah, dude, such a tough thing, dude. But you know, you said this, and last thing on the team, and because I want to point this out to people, like I don't discredit because I do have a team. Like, guess who's on my team? My wife.
Yeah,
she's been there through it all. You know, my daughter. She's more support than she realizes. Because she gives me purpose.
Yeah, dude.
You know, and all those things. And I've had people that have helped with things that have been a part of a team to a degree. But like I said, when it comes to like having a team within your brand, the way I look at it is like, hey, you're all showing up for practice at the same time.
Right.
You're going to the workouts. You're doing the fucking film. You're doing that all stuff. And then you're playing the game together.
Right.
And you're doing that together. I can't do that. I can't afford that. I can't expect anybody to do it for free. It's a tough world. If we could, great. But at the end of the day, that's not the expectation. So while I recognize everyone that's there and I'm so grateful for it, I know my duty right now is to be that warrior, that fighter. So you look at like the team aspect of like a football team going to the Super Bowl, or you look at the MMA fighter that's fighting in the world championship. And it's like he's got to look at himself only in the mirror that night, all beat up and you get what I'm saying. But
I get what
it's just a different season. Like right now, I'm figuring out.
I get it. You're trying to figure out the right practice times.
Yes,
the right way to train.
The team will come
in order for the team to fulfill the things.
Yes, and that'll come together organically, rather than trying to force it.
I couldn't agree more.
And I forced it.
I think, I think so. I think it boils down to setting a standard. Because at MMA fighter, I mean, I race dirt bikes. I think it taught me a lot. You know, the standard that my dad set was way different than the standard that I had for myself. My dad was like you, very, hey, you need to be doing this time, this time. And I was like, I'm just going to go ride my dirt bike, dude. It's the only thing I know how to do. You know, I'll work out. Yeah, maybe. And just flash forward to today. I couldn't I fuel my program on the standard that I set for myself.
Yeah.
The standard I set for myself is like, okay, I am not in a place to tell you how to do the job at hand if I can't do the job at hand flawlessly, mechanically, intentionally, all of those things. So my standard that I'm setting is, okay, I'm going to track it, figure out my pitfalls, figure out the things that need to be tightened, figure that out, get it so dialed that then I can say, all right, let's establish a team. Let's, along the way, dude, that's one of the craziest things that's happened so far in this painting business. Got super busy a couple summers ago, was just running through employees. Like I've had one girl that stayed with me from the jump and was just running through employees. Like I needed help. We were overwhelmed. I was like just throwing gas on fire, just like getting jobs done, doing all this stuff. And I would go to the paint store every day. This guy, Logan, shout out to Logan. Worked at the paint store. He was pretty high up at Sherwin-Williams. And I was like, man, I need good help. Like that's the number one, especially in trades businesses. Like you just need good help. You know, people don't want to work.
Tell you what.
Yeah, come to work drunk or, come to work hungover or whatever. And they're just like, man, I just need good help. And it's like, God, it's tough to find. It's tough to find anywhere. But anyway, I would go in there every day and just, they could see the stress of like, my God, I need some help. Like, I'm working 12, 14 hours a day on the job. And then, getting home and trying to do all, the other 4 hours of work before I have to go to sleep and try it all again. Plus I got family and,
you want to be intentional about that time.
Yeah, like all over the place. And I would make fun at myself and then joke with him about like, man, if you ever get tired of like working here, like please give me a call. I was like, I'm not, and I sold him on the vision. I was like, my goal would not be for you to be a painter. It would be more of like, let's run the business and grow the business. And, dude called my bluff. Like I'd talk to God every day of like, man, just like, I need help. Like I'm drowning. Like, dude, it was of the more times and at that time I was still trying to grow ambition too. So I was like, just in deep.
Yeah. And,
one day he called me and he was like, man, it's never like culture here's kind of crappy. And I've been wanting to do something. And I always wanted to have been a part of something like what you've got. And I was like, well, dude, like literally whenever you're ready. Yeah. And at that time, I couldn't afford it. Yeah. Like it was like, man, if I hired him and he took a small pay cut, I don't know if I could have that. And dude called me a week later. Was like, well, you said call you whenever. And like, this last week has been just hell. And I was like, all right, man, you start Monday. Had no idea how the building process would go. I didn't know if I could pay him. And I was like, dude, I'll make it work. I'll always make it work. Yeah. Like I'll lose my paycheck.
Dude, that's been one of my greatest sayings of the past.
Yeah, I'll make it work. Yeah. And
figure it out.
And where I was going with that was the team thing of like, along the way, you're going to be gifted with people that get it. Mm-hmm. That just, hey, I mean, this dude literally took a pay cut, took out benefits. Like he's literally threw caution to the wind because I was in that damn store selling this guy the dream of this business. And that's been almost a year. And we've made milestones and we're going that way. But how we've gotten there, absolutely wild. And how we even got to this point with the team that we have and all of these things could not be written. Yeah. It was designed for us.
That's sick, dude.
And it's like, that's the one thing about the team is like, you almost got to go through all the crap, like all the bad employees or weird relationships. Like I had friends in the business that like I would work with and then they would like just one dude just screwed up. Yeah. And I was like, okay, well, I lost everything I was supposed to make on this job. And then now I got to go back and fix all his mistakes and never talk to him again, ever. Was just craziness. Yeah. And to the point of like, just letting God do his thing. Like he wrote it up this way. I'm not going to write. I'm not a movie writer, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like along the journey, you'll know, you know, it's like getting married. It's like, I never wanted to get married. I met Morgan and I was like, pretty sure I'm going to marry her. Dude. This is kind of strange.
Oh, bro. Like after my last relationship, I was like, fucking A.
Yeah, never.
I was like, what does surrogacy cost? Because I want to have a kid.
Yeah.
But then and then I met Lydia and I was like, this is
it,
bro.
Yeah, this is it.
100%.
It's literally, I used to never believe in that. I used to never believe in like just that. I call it the Holy Spirit. A lot of others call it like your gut instinct.
Well,
or, you know, those things, like you feel it. It's just an unexplainable, like, that's my wife. That's my, I can't afford this, but I'm pretty sure he's supposed to be here. So,
and your heart's going to tell you, I think your heart and your mind and your gut are going to tell you different things.
Oh, dude.
So, because I kind of like,
yes.
Yeah. And I try to listen emotionally. Like if I listen to my mind, I overthink shit.
If I listen to my mind, I would be a not good human.
I'd spin in circles.
It wouldn't even just be the spin in circles aspect. It would just be, I would look at my flesh as the leader, and my flesh is not the leader.
And
like, think about this. Us being men, we could have a man conversation. Lust is, I'll speak for myself. Lust has always been a crazy thing for me.
Yeah.
Of just like, that was my obsession with wanting to be the man.
Yeah.
If I listened to my flesh, I would let lust win 10 times out of 10.
Yeah.
Every time. So listening to your mind, it's a little bit difficult.
Yeah.
You know?
And I think it's different. Well, I'm thinking of an example for like this Christmas thing, you know, and I was trying to raise money and bring gifts out to, you know, the place I go volunteer. And they did a cool thing out there. And it got to like, you know, right before going. And I was like, dude, I haven't really raised much. I've raised enough like to help with travel, but like, and I had like Friday night came around. I was planning on leaving Saturday morning, like 2 a.m. I told Lydia, I was like, I can't fucking go. I said, you know, this has been really hard because I've had to accept this whole not good enough thing. And I've realized that. I said, but you know, my heart is telling me go out there and help, but it's also telling me, Joe, stay here and focus on your shit, on your business, make some moves this weekend. So my heart was split in two. My gut said, Joe, stay home and focus on your shit. Yeah. And that was what I had to pay attention to because I do rune readings, right? So I'll take the runes and I'll cast them. And I'll ask a question. I do this for my brothers and some people, you know, if they request it, but I'll channel, you know, the gods and the knowledge and the runes through me. I'll be like this conduit, right? Yeah. And then I will just give you insight or understanding. It's not answers, and it lays out past, present, future. So for me, the past, and I'm not going to go into the rune descriptions and everything. I can explain it to you if you're ever interested. But the past indicated, and my question was financial future and my business success, right?
Yeah.
Past is riddled with, you know, both my own doing or external forces causing issues with my financial stability and so on and so forth. Like a lot of like chaos there.
Yeah.
Presently, which is crazy, was that rune represented coming to a lot of clarity and gaining wisdom and listening to mentors and like a lot of things coming to me that are super like, oh my God, like this higher connection of who I truly am. And then going forward was all about willpower and strength and applying and in focus and discipline. Now, focus and discipline and work and all that shit, I don't lack.
Right.
But the beauty of it, and I paid attention to, was like, but it said specifically, listen to those aha moments, listen to that intuition, listen to some external advice.
Yeah.
And it said, and focus with that discipline. What I realize is, one, my focus hasn't been where it has been because I've been clouded by, you know, holding up a bunch of people I'm not willing to forgive in my mind and all this other shit. So now the focus is, all that clarity is coming. So now I can apply that focus where I needs to go in order to like bring abundance. Right. And it was fucking powerful. I was like, oh my God, like it makes so much sense.
Yeah.
And so like, I've really been attentive about like paying attention to those things and just simply like going to Appalachia. Like, I would have had a great time. It would have been powerful. But at the same time, like, Joe, you've done a lot. you're going to get out there again, but you got to focus. In order to do more, you got to like build this, right?
You got to be more.
Yeah.
I mean,
anyways, I could rant on about this all day, but it was just a powerful thing, you know, that gut shit, or like you say, the Holy Spirit.
It's almost at times unbearable.
Mm-hmm.
And the flesh, we always want to override that.
Yeah.
We always like to think that our brain is way smarter than our gut feeling, than what that is. Like, you're not.
Yeah.
I love what you say about not being good enough. Like, I think everyone has a level. I think everyone has a level of that, and knowing that, I don't know, man. Like, I think if you are constantly pursuing your passions and your calling, you're almost, I don't want to say you're not supposed to feel good enough, but like I said, if you rely on your flesh, you won't be good enough.
No.
You'll never, there's always a new bar.
Yeah.
There's always a new, trust me, I was supposed to be a millionaire 8 years ago. Okay.
Yeah.
I was supposed to be a millionaire within 3 months of business.
Yeah.
And, we see where my head got me, so it's an interesting, way to look at it.
Yeah.
I should say.
100%.
But, no, I don't think, I think if you think about being good enough, you'll never reach that.
Yeah, exactly.
It's interesting to think about. But.
Just if you understand that you have that awareness, like where you're at right now is good enough.
Yeah. Yeah. As long as you're giving it.
Yeah. As long as you're giving it. Like if you're a dirtbag, it's like that's.
Well, it's not even just that. Like, if you're like, my dad always used to say, you dump in one hand and wish in the other and see which one fills up fast enough. If you're just sitting there with like, oh, I'm going to grow this business, or I'm going to be the best dad, and then you're just wishing it and not doing it, like, you're moving.
Oh, yeah. Manifesting without action.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Action's like everything.
Action is everything.
It's everything.
Yeah.
It's
there's no use in daydreaming.
Yeah, no, it's no.
I mean, it's good
fun.
it's good. Yeah, it's
being creative, open mind.
I guess using that as I don't know, applying action towards those daydreams.
If the only thing you do is daydream, you're screwed.
Yeah.
I've been blessed with the perspective of having a 10-year-old and a 1-year-old, and Ava's kind of getting the age like boys are cute now, and like just kind of so funny. It's so funny hearing the stories coming home from school about the things that they argue, or the things that like
the slang terms.
They're stupid. Which I look at, again, perspective, like looking back on me, like I was probably like saying
stupid shit,
skibbity, and all the crazy shit they're saying now.
Like cool skateboard terms.
Yeah. Just like I used to say, I still say gnarly. Like I used to say it all the time.
Oh yeah.
My dad's like, dude, that's like surfer. Like you're from Tennessee. Shut up.
I say gnarly.
I love gnarly.
It's cool. Yeah.
Or rad. I'd say rad.
Dope.
That's dirt bikes, but yeah, just it's so funny, and it's so interesting learning just 10-year-olds and how they like, wow, this is crazy. She's gonna start like having boyfriend. Like she'd come home and be like, yeah, he's my boyfriend now. Like, you tell him I have to. He's gonna have to come over to the house first.
yeah. Let me talk to him.
Yeah, I just need to know where his parents. I need to know his social security number. I need to know some pretty key information.
Yep.
It's
I'm gonna install a chip in his arm.
Yeah. No, we're gonna like. I've never skinned a deer ever in my life. I've never I went hunting for the first time last year. Crazy. But I told her, I was like, no, we're going to go out back and skin a deer. And she's like, you've never, and I'm like, you don't think I have. Girl, I've skinned so many deers. And I go, my wife's like, don't tell her that. You've never done that. Like,
you got YouTube up and you're like, oh, I think I got to look up this one part.
I'm like, oh man, it's bloody.
It's been a little while. Oh,
yeah. It's, Oh, the first one's always the worst. So I'd have to knock one out first, I'd have to do one by myself.
It's fun, man.
No, I want to do it. Like,
yeah.
Buddy of mine just went elk hunting a couple, when was that? September maybe.
Yeah.
And he was just telling me about like the whole, didn't kill one. Or actually I think he did. I can't remember. But I want to go. I want to do it more. I really have found like a cool, just because I went snow geese hunting, which is like nothing crazy. It's super fun. Didn't even pull the trigger. One guy next to me got the shot, and I was like, "Damn, come on!"
Yeah.
But I've found a weird love for it. It's kind of like golf. Like I've found a weird love back into golf now because I golf. I try to golf a lot. As much as I But
Yeah.
I had a question for you.
It's a good thing. I was going to say with the hunting,
please.
It's funny though,
Sorry.
because I was thinking of you, like you didn't pull the trigger and you go to like the bar after and somebody's like,
dude,
you get something, and you just like, you spit some dip on the floor and you're like, almost. And the bartender's like, why the hell are you spitting?
No, I literally,
Like,
we
shit,
got
my
back.
bad.
We was like, man, I almost got him. That's all I would say. I almost got him.
I'm a roughneck.
And the worst part is, and we stayed at a lodge, and the buddies I went with, they duck hunt every year, like 4 times a year, like they're in it. And I had to borrow one of their. I don't have a gun, so hey, I'm living on borrowed shit over here.
You were there,
and I was like, yeah, we almost got him, man. I'll tell you tomorrow, dude. He's mine, brother, mine. Fly him again, And we got back in the truck. And my buddy was like, hey, you don't have to put that on, man. Like they don't care if it's your first time.
Yeah, I was like, you change your whole accent and everything.
Yeah, I'm like big hunter now.
That's so funny.
Literally none of the gear was mine. Like nothing, dude. I'm in there just nothing.
That's so funny.
And it was and I'm such a pretty boy at heart. So I'm over there like, it's muddy. No, I'm just kidding. But
you ever seen Schitt's Creek?
No.
Oh, never mind.
I know.
Oh,
People tell me we're horrible show watchers.
We love our little.
I know.
Comedy shows.
It's the thing is, and I'm growing out of it. I fall asleep. You get my brain turned off, focused on a show. Yeah, I'm sleeping.
That's a good point. That's nothing wrong with that.
So she's always like, I don't want to watch a show because you're gonna fall asleep.
Yeah,
we watched pretty much. We watched The Madness on Netflix. I don't know if you've. Okay, well, you should probably watch it. Dude, we stayed up. We watched. It's 8 episodes. We watched it in 2 nights, and we were up till like 3 in the morning both nights.
I'll scope it out.
Awesome.
I'll scope it out.
And she was like, wow, it's been the best experience. You've stayed up. And I was like, well, it was a good show. All these other ones kind of suck. Yeah. I'm just kidding.
Bored me. You do have a question. I know we got time.
Yeah. I want to know this just from the clarity you've obtained. Everything kind of been through. What's like, is the clothing side, is it less of a focus today? Is it something is it more intentional with the way you do it? The reason I'm asking on the clothing side of the business, that's like, I just got out of there. So I love it. But just what's the vision of like 20, 25, 6, 7, whatever the case is?
I think, the clothing side is going to be a thing, but I don't want to be right now. I don't really care about being a clothing brand, like making all this different stuff. But I always loved the simplicity of like where I started with the shirts and the logo and the sayings. People always love that shit, man.
Love it.
That shit always sold well. And it's always like, it wasn't me trying to overextend into something that like, ooh, a lot of people will buy this kind of apparel. It was just like real. It was the authenticity behind it because every slogan meant something. Yeah. Everything that it kind of represented, right? And so to me, it's like flying a flag of something that has meaning. Yeah. And I know I want to get back to that.
Got it.
And create some cool items and have shirts that like, hey, this is what
it means something.
This quote on the back is built off of, because like the whole not good enough thing, dude, you know how many people could relate to that?
Dude,
so many people commented, they're like, yo, and I had people DMing me and shit, like, and it's a commonplace for people. So when you talk about these things, you get authentic, you realize like everybody goes through these things in their own level of their own capacity, 100%. Right? And it's just how it applies to their journey. So I think I want to do the apparel, but also understand like, man, I'm in a season of my life where I've got to build the things I've been pouring all my attention into. Yeah. And like realistically, I can't afford to like do a big apparel order.
No. Well,
so
there's ways around it, obviously.
Yeah. And I think, but it's also like, I need to focus on a couple things because my time is so spread thin that I needed to be devoted to the certain aspects. And then when I can,
when you're able to delegate, you'll be able to.
When I'm able to, instead of trying to delegate myself to something, or instead of trying to like apply myself to something else. Yeah. Well, then it's just like takes from this. You get what I'm saying? So
I mean that's the.
What makes you ask?
I just love it. I mean, we've talked about it a million times, but I just love business and
one day I just that you can be my apparel guy.
No, I mean no, I'm actually focused on one thing. Right now,
that's good.
But that's what I was gonna say. It's tough to you get in the space and you instantly want to do everything. Yeah. I'm the king of wanting to do everything. That's why I asked, because it seems to me there are things that if you did put that focused in just in that, like the podcast, or if there was the one thing that you put it into, you then could branch off. It's just a matter of when the timing is right.
And I think right now, like my most important thing is growing this podcast and like doing what I need to do with it because there's so much potential there. It's grown 180% this year.
Yeah. Well, and you know, apparel attached to that is never out of the question.
That's the thing.
Things, you know, there's, like I said, it's a focus thing. I'm the same with like the painting. Like I instantly, when I got into business, I wanted to create other services and do this. And then I was like, ooh, we could make apparel. Like there's no painting business that does apparel. I know that world. I could do it. And it's like, yeah, but let's do this. Let's focus on getting really, 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 really good at painting. Yeah. If you can get yourself, the team, enough for me to step back, because I'll say this. I've been in business for 9 years and I've owned a job. Yeah. I would like for 2025 to be a business owner. Yeah. That's my goal.
Exactly.
So if I can get it to where systems are in place to where I can step away, if I died, the business would still remain, and then focus on the things that I know will grow. You know, that's when, because I would love to break into apparel. I have 1,000,000,001 ideas of apparel. Yeah. All the time, especially in this new industry that's quite frankly wide open. Yeah. In certain aspects. So I'm always thinking.
Yeah. Always. Well, you said something earlier that, you know, was talking about being able to hold others to expectations if you haven't really like done it yourself, right? And so it's like setting the standard. Well, I didn't really have a standard for this production, right? Yeah. Things happened the way they did, but guess what? It led me to learn it. Yep. And now I'm in a season of my life where I get to set the standard here. Yep. And I think the shift's going to come with getting back into apparel and other things when I find the person that's like, hey, you're hired to be my producer. Yeah. I want it done this way, and I want you to work to grow with it. Exactly. And when I can delegate the time it takes because it takes a lot of time to produce and edit and all this stuff, especially, and I'm very intentional about it. I want it to be one of a kind. So I want to perfect it. I want to perfect the process. And then when someone comes in, it's like, this is where I'm at. I know how it works. You know, you can't give me excuses like this or that. I've been doing it for a while, and this is the standard.
It's either that or hiring somebody that's 10 times smarter than you.
Yeah, or that's the thing. They may be like, Joe, dude, you're doing it that way. You loser.
Yeah, I'd be grateful. The process, but I got it.
I'd be grateful for it. But you know, that's the thing, though. At least I understand. And I think that's the thing. And so when I can delegate this, that's going to be a huge shift 100%. Because I can afford to delegate it, and then two, like it'll help me apply myself to other places of growth.
That's my whole thing. Is if. That's why I'm learning numbers and systems and this and that. Like, it's never been my brain, but in order for me to know how to hire it, I have to know how to wire it.
Yeah, dude.
So I just made that up, and that sounded pretty cool. So thank you, Lord.
It rhymes.
But I had to understand it. Yeah. Like even finances. Like I'm
learning that one now.
I'm learning it all on how to like employ and do this and do that and make it all work for you and blah blah blah. It's a lot to it. I'd rather learn it. Yeah. Than hope it works. You know, for sure. It's kind of my life now. That's one thing I know you'll appreciate this, and hopefully some of the military guys, but that's one thing I appreciate the military for, was the standard operating procedure.
Yeah. There's I heard that term so many times.
No, I know, but there's like, dude, I've looked it up. Like they have SOPs for making your bed. And it's like for everything. So I was like, dang, I'm going to do that for my business. Yeah. Let's do that.
You just go in the military.
Yeah, I'm not going to do
that. You just go home like, Joe taught me into it. Yeah. I'm enlisting.
I leave out Thursday. She was like, shit. Yeah, she would kill me.
Yeah, dude. Probably.
We watched the movie the other night, and I said, a SEAL movie. God, I could be a SEAL. She was like, shut up.
Yeah.
I'll stop.
Well, dude, no, you could.
I could.
Yeah.
I literally could.
Yeah, you could. And dude, there's so many other things I want to ask, because I want to ask about Morgan and more family shit. We got to do this again.
Yeah. We do.
Yeah, you're like, oh shit. Well, and we'll do this. We'll get it going in like the next month or so. I'm down.
Absolutely.
But 100%. I do want to know, because I ask this every time.
I love it.
And it shifts. What is your relentless pursuit, Tylor?
Dude, my relentless pursuit is kind of always what it has been. We spoke on it earlier, but I was put on this earth to make mistakes and grow and help other people. Yeah. I think the best way to lead, I think the best way to live is to be a servant. So I think my relentless pursuit is to be a servant to my family, my friends, my life that I've been given, to be an absolute servant.
Hell yeah, dude.
The more that I can do for you is the more that I gain.
And eventually you'll have servants.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm just kidding. No, I don't know.
I mean, it's not on the radar.
Yeah, no.
No, that would kind of be a strain. I've never thought about that.
No, I think serving others though, you know, like
serving others is the lifeblood,
you know,
in my opinion.
And you know, like I have so much belief in this because like to me, in essence, it does serve others because I think it serves their heart and their mind. And I think when people really listen to some of these conversations, they're like, it can do so much for them.
People think, and we all fall victim to this. Our circumstance, what we go through is 1 in a million.
Yeah.
Never happened. I'm struggling this way, and no one else would ever get this. Things like this are the gateway to opening that.
Yeah.
Because you're like, oh man, I've struggled with that, or I went through this.
You're like, how the hell do I relate to that guy?
Yeah,
exactly.
But you do.
And that's what brings people together.
That's
the beautiful thing.
That's serving in a nutshell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I want to connect us all, man.
I'm literally, my relentless pursuit is your relentless pursuit.
Dude, hell yeah. Well, let's keep doing it, man.
I love it.
All you got to do is just keep living it, man. Tylor, I love you, bro.
I love you, man.
And I'm extremely grateful for you, man. I love our conversations every time. They're so insightful. They're so positive, and they're so like, they just fire me the hell up. And so I'm grateful to have you in my life, man.
I couldn't agree more.
Dude, thank you for coming on. It's an honor.
Thank you.
Tyler.
We're doing this.
Hey, appreciate you, brother.
An honor.
Right,
Love you, people. Make sure you do the like, the subscribe, thumbs ups. Look, I've been off social, so this is a little hairy, but make sure you just keep following along, man, because you're not in it alone.
Oh yeah, brother. Thank you. All right, till next time.
Peace, people. Just like that. I fucking love podcasts.
That's a great episode.
That's a great episode.
I love this so much.